The Toronto Blue Jays have done it. The moment that every Canadian baseball fan has been waiting for has finally arrived. After years of heartbreak, rebuilding, and near misses, the Blue Jays are officially headed to the 2025 World Series. The Rogers Centre erupted in celebration as the final out was secured, and the sound of pure joy filled the air across the nation. For a franchise that has been chasing glory since 1993, this victory represents more than just baseball. It's a story of redemption, persistence, and the unshakable belief that one day, their moment would come again. As the final pitch crossed the plate, the Blue Jays dugout exploded. Players sprinted toward the mound, gloves flying, arms raised in disbelief and triumph. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was the first to be tackled in the pile of blue jerseys, the superstar who carried the weight of expectation and turned it into performance under pressure. His bat, his leadership, and his unrelenting energy became the heart of this postseason run. Tonight, under the bright lights, his dream, and the dream of millions of Canadians, finally came true. This wasn't just another playoff series, this was a statement. The Blue Jays faced elimination, adversity, and critics who said they couldn't do it. But they didn't just survive, they dominated when it mattered most. The crowd's roar after every strikeout, every clutch hit, and every stolen base felt like an earthquake shaking through the stadium. Fans who watched from coast to coast, from Vancouver to Halifax, shared the same heartbeat, united by one team and one flag. The road to the World Series wasn't smooth. Toronto had to fight through injuries, inconsistent hitting early in the season, and one of the toughest playoff brackets in recent memory. But through it all, the team found a rhythm at the perfect time. Bo Bichette rediscovered his swing, Alejandro Kirk became the unsung hero behind the plate, and Chris Bassett and Kevin Gausman delivered performances worthy of legends. Every inning felt like a battle, and every player rose to the occasion. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stood on the field after the game, tears welling in his eyes. "This means everything," he said. "For my family, for the city, for Canada." The young slugger has carried not just the legacy of his father but the hopes of an entire generation of fans who grew up watching highlights from the Blue Jays' glory days. And now, he's written a new chapter, one that will be replayed for decades to come. The final out came with a fastball high and inside, a swing and a miss, and the celebration began instantly. Blue confetti rained down as fireworks lit up the Toronto skyline. Inside the clubhouse, champagne sprayed from every direction, laughter echoed off the walls, and the players danced like kids who had just been told their dreams were real. For manager John Schneider, who faced enormous scrutiny earlier this year, this moment was personal. "They doubted us," he said with a grin. But this team never stopped believing. The atmosphere outside the stadium was equally electric. Thousands of fans flooded the streets, waving Canadian flags, chanting, "Let's go Blue Jays," and hugging complete strangers. It wasn't just Toronto that was celebrating, this was a national moment. In bars, living rooms, and public squares across the country, Canadians were united in pure euphoria. Baseball, for one night, became the heartbeat of Canada. It's been over 3 decades since the Blue Jays last appeared in the World Series. The memories of Joe Carter's walk-off home run in 1993 have lived on like a myth, a symbol of a golden age that fans feared might never return. But now, a new story has emerged. The names have changed, the uniforms updated, but the spirit remains the same: fearless, passionate, and proud. The journey to this point wasn't built overnight. Over the past few seasons, the Blue Jays front office took bold risks, trading prospects for key veterans, trusting young talent, and building a clubhouse culture centered on family. The result is a roster that plays for each other, fights for every run, and never gives up no matter the score. That chemistry has been the secret weapon behind Toronto's stunning postseason run. Fans will remember the turning points. Guerrero's clutch home run in Game 5 of the ALCS that shifted momentum. Bichette's diving stop that saved a run in the 8th inning. The bullpen's dominance when the stakes were highest. Each of those moments added up to something greater, a team that refused to let go of its dream. In this postseason, Toronto proved they can win any type of game: slugfests, pitchers' duels, extra inning thrillers. They adapted, they learned, and they grew with every inning. That adaptability, combined with their youthful energy, has made them one of the most exciting teams in baseball to watch. For many fans, this feels like destiny. The core that began as a group of talented prospects, Guerrero, Bichette, Biggio, has matured into leaders who now stand on the doorstep of immortality. This is the payoff for years of faith and frustration. It's a reward for fans who kept believing even when the standings didn't look pretty. Social media exploded within seconds of the final out. Former players, celebrities, and politicians all congratulated the team. Hashtags like hashtag We Are Blue Jays and hashtag Bring It Home trended across Canada and the US. The world was watching, and the Blue Jays had officially become baseball's biggest story. The team's chemistry was on full display throughout the postseason. They celebrated every small victory, from a key walk to a defensive gem. That joy, that unity, is what made them special. You could see it in every smile, every high five. This wasn't just a team, it was a family. And as the champagne flowed in the locker room, the players reflected on how far they'd come. Some were overlooked prospects, others were stars who faced doubts about their consistency. Together, they rewrote their narratives. The 2025 Blue Jays are proof that talent and heart, when combined, can defy all odds. Even opposing players couldn't help but admire Toronto's rise. They just don't quit, one rival pitcher said. You think you've got them beat, and then they find a way. That resilience has been the team's defining trait all season long. The entire city of Toronto has transformed into a sea of blue. Murals are already being painted, jerseys are selling out in stores, and tickets for the upcoming World Series games are becoming gold dust. The anticipation is unlike anything the city has seen in decades. The energy in Canada right now is unmatched. From hockey fans to casual sports followers, everyone is talking about baseball. The Blue Jays have not only revived a franchise but also reignited a nation's love for the game. For the players, the work isn't done yet. The World Series looms ahead, and the competition will be fierce. But this team thrives under pressure. They've faced elimination and emerged stronger every time. Their confidence is sky high, their chemistry unbreakable, and their belief unshakable. The moment Guerrero Jr. raised his arms to the sky, you could almost feel the ghosts of Blue Jays past smiling down. The torch has officially been passed from the heroes of 92 and 93 to a new generation ready to carve its legacy. Across Canada, fans are making plans, buying flags, and preparing for what could be a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. The dream that began in April is still alive, and it's heading straight to the World Series. Inside the clubhouse, amid the laughter and chaos, you could hear Guerrero shout, "We're not done yet." It was a reminder that for this team, celebration is only a pause, not the finish line. As the players left the field, fans stayed long after the final out, singing, waving, and soaking in the magic. The moment will be etched forever in Canadian sports history, the night when the Blue Jays became more than a team. They became a symbol of hope, passion, and national pride. From humble beginnings to the grandest stage in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays have written a story that few will forget. A story of heart, unity, and triumph. And as they now set their sights on the World Series, one thing is clear: the North has risen again, and the world is watching. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. The 2025 Toronto Blue Jays, a team that refused to be denied, a nation that refused to stop believing. The countdown to the World Series has begun, and Canada stands ready to cheer louder than ever before. The dream is alive. The Blue Jays are going to the World Series. And this time, they're not just representing Toronto, they're representing all of Canada. Canada.